大家好，我是很秋晴我们都知道11月8号是我们在休斯顿选举市长的日子，而我们最近呢我们都请到几位市长的候选人到节目中来，向大家介绍一下他们自己。我们都知道休斯顿是第4大城市，这个市长是非常重要的位置，因为这是等于是我们这个城市的领导人，让我们的休斯顿能够做得更好，我们的工作机会更多，能够让我们所有的市民安居乐业。完全是市长的职务啊！我们今天很荣幸请到另外一位市长候选人他是叫做 Mr. Fernando Herrera 到节目当中来介绍他自己，来告诉他为什么他要参选市长。Mr. Herrera, thank you so much to come to our show. First of all, I want you to introduce everyone about yourself.
Okay, thank you. Yes, again, I'm Fernando Herrera. I'm a mayoral candidate. I'm a native Houstonian. I've lived here for 50 years all my life. Growing up in Houston was a great time for me. I received my first job at remarkably 12 years old, but it wasn't walking dogs or making lemonade. It was actually winding electrical coils and stacking transformers. I had a real job at 12. Now that I look at my own 12-year-old, I think how young I was. But I thought I was big at the time, so I enjoyed that. And I believe that affected me for the rest of my life. I have that kind of work ethic. I went on to work a number of jobs and joined the Houston Fire Department in 1981. I've been in approximately 30 years. I'm currently a deputy chief in the Houston Fire Department. My geographic area of responsibility covers from Katy to Clear Lake, south of Interstate 10. I'm over approximately 400 firefighters, and I have extensive administrative and managerial skills, as well as experience in private industry. I'm a former small business owner, a manufacturing company of 14 years. So I plan on bringing these skills that I learned in private industry as well as local government to the office of mayor and serving the public in that manner.
Fernando, you talk about you in the city of Houston Fire Department for 30 years.
Yes.
So you know everything inside the city hall. Tell us about what's inside the city hall.
It's interesting, and anyone can attend the city council meetings, and I encourage you to do so, or you can watch it on television. But there's a number of things that can be improved upon, but one particular is the amount of time that city council members receive before they're expected to spend the money, vote on the different things to represent the public. Right now, 48 hours is what's given typically. City council members should have longer than 48 hours because,
of course, yeah.
Yes, at any given time, they could. Any given Wednesday, they could spend about $45 million of taxpayer money.
Wow.
And I believe that's not enough time to truly evaluate and study the issues they're voting on.
Are you implied maybe our budget had problem is because some decision made before is not a right decision?
Well, there are a number of reasons people make decisions, and our former mayors make decisions.
Yeah.
Sometimes they what's called kick the can down the road. They delay payments.
Oh, yes.
Make it a little bit easier
Yes.
for their particular term in office,
Yes.
but it's harder on other mayors in the
Yes.
future.
Yes.
I'm willing to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
I'm willing to roll up my sleeves
Yeah.
and do the job for the city because that's why I'm running.
That's
It's
right.
not about me, it's for the people.
You know, in Houston, we go through a tough time, and right now we need a job, and also our economic need to improve. As a mayor, how are you going to do that?
That's a good point. As mayor, I'm going to invite business to Houston. I'm going to create a path. I'm not going to create roadblocks. The way to do that is to eliminate the drainage tax. We want to be able to compete with not only Harris County, but the rest of the country. So eliminate the drainage tax and stop taxing churches, schools, and nonprofits in the future. The other thing is, I want to reevaluate all of the permits and fees. We have over 500 permits. Over 150 permits and fees have been increased recently. And I've listened to small and large business owners. They're crying out for help with the permitting process. They say it's slow, cumbersome, and quite extensive. They just want, in many cases, to open their business and create jobs. So I've listened to them, and I'm going to create a win-win relationship to help promote business in Houston.
Got it. You mentioned about you're going to decrease the property tax for age over 65. What do you think about that, and how are you going to make up the budget balance?
Thank you. Yes, I do want to decrease property tax for those over 65 because you know what? There are senior adults, many are on a fixed income and they've done their time. They may no longer be in the workforce. I believe that if we're efficient and provide those city services that we can't provide for ourselves and prioritize our spending, those essential city services like fire, police, EMS, and infrastructure, including drainage, if we're careful and listen to those actually doing the job and save money, we can lower property taxes. Begin incrementally and then do so more and more over time for those over 65. It's important.
Yeah. What voter need to know about this election?
Voters need to know that this election is different. This election is going to be decided by the people. I completely believe that. This election is not going to be decided by millionaires or political action committees. This election, the people want to be heard. There's a lot of controversy going on right now. It seems like 4 or 5 years have gone by, but it's only been about 19 months. And think about the things that have been controversial. The red light cameras, the drainage tax debacle, Metro, the crime lab with 15,000 rape kits that have yet to be tested, forced historical preservation. We have 380 agreement and Walmart. I'm not against Walmart, but I'm against giving one developer an advantage over another developer.
Got it.
There's so many things.
When you talk about fire department, you've been there for 30 years. Is there any way you can change or cut in the budget or do something to make fire department more efficient?
Oh, absolutely. There's a number of ways to save money. Just because the Houston Fire Department and the City of Houston aren't required to produce a profit, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't run like a business. It's the taxpayers' money, and we should be efficient and responsible. We're stewards of the taxpayers' money. As a firefighter, I know ways to save money. I can save probably a few $1 million the first week and more so thereafter. I'm not mayor yet, but I'm already receiving calls from people in the police department, public works, and other city departments with $1 million ideas. Like many business owners, they know that if you really want to save money, ask those actually doing the job because they know where to save money.
Yeah.
That's right.
So in other words, you listen to the people.
Listen to the people and create win-win relationships. The people includes city employees as well as non-city employees, business owners and residents. They have good ideas.
Okay. As mayor, how do you have Asian community? What kind of things you can bring to our community, benefit our resident here? Okay.
First of all, I'm going to treat the Asian community like other communities. I'm going to be fair to and represent all people. I think the biggest thing that I can do for the Asian community is listen. Listen. Because one, I'm not Asian, but I want to help. I want to find out what things are working and enhance those. What are the problems? Is it crime? What are the key issues in the Asian community that the city of Houston can help with? And that's the most important thing that I'll do is listening and communicating.
Got it. Job economic, how are you going to improve that for city of Houston?
I'm a big proponent of advancing economic development.
Okay.
I mentioned a little bit earlier about eliminating the drainage tax.
Got it.
Reducing the permits and fees.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things I can do. Furthermore, we have some elected officials that go on trade trips to Africa or China.
Yeah.
That's good, but I believe that Houston is the beacon for the world. I truly believe this. When the United States gets in trouble financially, they look towards Texas.
That's right.
When things really get hard, we look towards Houston because Houston has many natural resources and we have a lot going for us. We have the Port of Houston, the medical center, sports facilities, a central downtown district. We have a lower cost of living, about 11% less than the rest of the country, and our housing is about 22% less than the rest of the country. If we advertise these things, take advantage of what we already have, and let others know, advertise, we can be right on course.
Are you saying promote Houston to international company and make them come over here do business with us?
Absolutely. We should have partnerships with international companies and tell them why it's advantageous to move here and do business here, especially when the Panama Canal is complete. We're going to have even more traffic at the port. So we need to prepare now to be more of an international city.
Got it. How do you attract people from China or Asia to do business with Houston as a mayor?
Well, one, I believe, just like I said, make sure they're aware of the of the opportunities available, and not just from China or Malaysia or Africa. It's all over the world, all over the country. If people, we should be the model. I know it's a global economy, and I'm not naive about that, but I truly believe Houston shouldn't follow the world. The world should be looking towards Houston as the guide, as the leader. I believe that.
Okay, so you think we should attract all these people? We don't need to go there, and they should come over here.
No, it's okay. Successful business owners know that you must advertise.
Got it.
I will put money in advertising as well.
Great. Market Houston.
Market Houston. That's right. That's right.
I know you've been firefighter for 30 years. I just remember a few days ago watched 911 that I think 343 firefighters died in that building.
Right.
As a fire chief, what do you think about? Is it a wrong decision make that then people go up, or why those people die? You know, is it in that building's burning?
Yeah. Well, the nature of our job requires us to. You have to go inside to extinguish a fire.
Yes.
You have to remember, previously, we haven't experienced a collapse like that. We call that a pancake collapse.
Yeah.
We haven't experienced that in the field of emergency services in the United States.
Yeah.
You know, so we go in the building to save lives. And even though there's a evacuate order called, I and the firefighters I work with, we don't leave people behind. We don't leave other firefighters behind, and we don't leave people behind. So those firefighters probably did receive the call to evacuate the building, but evacuate for a firefighter, it doesn't mean just run out of the building.
Yeah.
It means take the people with you. But there were so many, there were so many people.
Yeah.
It takes time.
I know.
So unfortunately and tragically, firefighters, police officers, and the public, the civilians, they were all lost.
I know. Yeah.
Many were lost. Many were saved.
That's right.
Many were saved, but there were many lost.
What is the goal for the first 2 years as mayor for Houston, Texas?
Okay. First and foremost, I'll balance the budget. State law and local law requires me, the mayor, to balance the budget, and it will be done. What I'll bring is creativity. I'll be creative, and I'll demand creativity on my department heads. So we'll balance that budget, and that will take about 6 months, the first 6 months of my office. Thereafter, we'll be more creative, and we'll work to eliminate the drainage tax that will be coming up for a vote. We will try to regulate and change the forced historical preservation that some of Houstonians may not be aware of. If you're not, you might consider yourself fortunate on that. But I'm going to work with trying to correct the forced historical preservation. Those are two big items. And crime. I do have a plan for crime, and it's very inexpensive, but it has a lot of impact, like nothing before.
How do you do that?
I'll tell you. One of a criminal's most advantageous components they have when they escape, whether it's a bank robbery or whether it's a child abduction or abduction of any kind, is camouflage. They can conceal themselves in a big city like this.
Okay.
Someone may not know the person next to them on the freeway just robbed the bank.
That's right.
What I'd like to do is something we could not do before. I want to take advantage of the communications equipment, the electronic advancements that we have now.
Okay.
I would like to send out an alert, similar to an Amber Alert. But I'd like to send it to text message, smartphone, television, marquee on the freeway.
Everybody aware, looking
radio,
for this guy.
And when you're driving on the freeway, if you're a passenger and your pager goes off or your text message, oh, he robbed the bank and he's in a 1990 Ford F-350 pickup and here's the license plate.
And you look around.
Now we take away the camouflage and we turn that into our favor. Now we have thousands of eyes looking for that man who just took a child. You go online and register that I would like to receive text messages, smartphone messages, emails, all of it. And it's free. It's almost free.
That's right.
And I want media and radio to participate.
Wow.
Yes, and we can recognize all the people who participate once a year.
Wow.
The media.
Wow.
Yes, with a decal or a logo for their station and website.
That's a great idea.
Oh, it is.
And no mayor think about that before, huh?
Well, I've been very